Welcome to episode 10 of my GTNH playthrough. One of these days I'll remember to record the intro before I finish the rest of the episode. But on the upside, I can tell you exactly what's going to be coming up. In this episode, we are going to be drilling for oil, we're going to be processing that oil into fuel, and we're also going to process it into polyethylene. Let's get going. After I finished the last episode, I realised I've actually got a load of loot bags waiting to be opened up, including one MV one, which I should really open as soon as possible. But let's start with these LV ones. Now let's see. A couple of hammers, some garbage, some more garbage, mostly garbage. Oh well. Now let's see. Ooh, more oil. And a single elevator. Well, I can hold out for another elevator, I suppose. But, yeah, out of all of that, the oil's probably the best. Let's get on with the episode. Ooh, hang on a second. A double-headed axe. That's a weapon. Alright, well, I'm not really one for combat. That's nice enough, I suppose. Okay, so as I mentioned at the end of the last episode, I want to start getting into oil. Now, because we got the oil just now and oil before, so that's 64 cells of oil we got just through loot bags. So rather than start with a pump, I thought we'll start with a distillery and make some light fuel straight off the bat, and then we'll make a combustion generator to run our pump. So here's the list of things I think we'll need. I might make a pipeline, depending on just how far away the first oil sort of spurt we see is. It might be too close for a pipeline. We'll see. Okay, so in pretty short order then we have all of these. Plus an extra electrolyzer, because I ended up using 2 before. Still need to make the pump. Alright, so that's all of the machines that we need for the time being. Got my distillery here. I've got a chemical reactor and an electrolyzer, and that should be enough to get us our first light fuel. So that's circuit number 2 in the distillery with oil, regular oil. I think that's this one, yep. So regular oil, program circuit number 2 will give us sulfuric light fuel. And then what we need to do is react it with some hydrogen in the chemical reactor on circuit number 4, and that will give us our light fuel and some hydrogen sulfide. Now, I was slightly confused there, but we need to wait for this to build up to 12 buckets, I think it is. Yeah, we need 12 buckets before it will chemically react with the hydrogen. Just made that a little bit more ergonomic by fitting a pump to the top of the distillery so it can pull from that tank up there. And just in the nick of time, I realised we are going to need 48 cells of sulfuric light fuel, so it's best I don't process it off right away. Alright, so that's the sulfuric light fuel quest. We can now let this get on with its own processing. And there's our quest for the 48 processed light fuel. Decisions. Tank or loot bag? Tank or loot bag? I'm going to take the loot bag. Let's live dangerously. Damn it, I did not realise this was an MV recipe. Oh well. Okay, time to get on with the second part of my plan, which is actually pumping up some oil. I want you to just behold this glorious mess over here. The water was my futile attempt to put it out. So I'm hoping that if we can pump some of it so that the oil stops flowing, and that'll clear up the fire. Guess what genius forgot the fuel? It's working! Or at least the pump is pumping. We'll see if it actually does anything about this here fire. Yes, the oil and the water both seem to be draining away. That's great. I can just hear my server sighing a sigh of relief as all this fire tick goes away. Sure what's happening there, just some weird fluid mechanics, but that's all of that. Alright, so the pump's done a great job pumping up oil. It's filled up this tank that I can now run back to the base. We've popped a little roof over it so nothing should explode. It probably doesn't rain in this biome, but I'm not sure what the rules are about machines being left out in the rain, even if the biome's not very rainy or doesn't get rain, but I think they can still get problems, so everything electrical is covered up with at least a 1 block gap on all sides, stopping it from getting rained on. That Jenny can just stay there, that's fine, and we can run this oil back for further processing. Right then, welcome back. It's been quite a few days actually since I last recorded, and I have some stuff to catch you up on. First of all, you'll notice that this area has completely changed. Our Cobbleworks storage is there, the machines are in those boxes back there. I've replaced this with an early game oil processing line, so look at this glorious spaghetti down here. Right, we have creosote coming in, and that's still feeding semi-fluid generators, and those are powering these machines. The blue thing is a long distance pipeline that I'm running over from the oil well that we set up earlier. That's going into this tank, getting buffered up, and then it's getting transformed into sulfuric fuel, and then it's getting transformed into light fuel. I solved the hydrogen issue in the short term by setting up this mixer. I can put some water in here, and that will mix it up into salt water. The salt water will then electrolyse, and that gives us chlorine, which will be handy later. It gives us sodium hydroxide, which will be quite handy later, and it gives us the hydrogen that we need to refine the fuel into light fuel. So this is all somewhat temporary. It's going to change up and probably become a diesel setup a bit later on, but for now this will keep us going. This light fuel is then sort of wiggling under there. In fact, I'll go downstairs and show you. So yeah, this wiggles down here, and goes into these two combustion generators here, and that's now powering my machines. Something that I've also noticed is I am running out of space. This room was never really big enough for a full LV workshop. In any case, it was kind of temporary, and I knew it was. But I think at this point I have to face the fact that I'm outgrowing it very quickly. So to that end, I am starting up a new build towards the back of the area in that canyon area to the rear. And there's a few machines I want to make to sort of make that building process a bit easier. Because of setting up all of this, what I've done is I've blown through the circuits that we had. So the next thing I want to make is an arc furnace, and that'll open up annealed copper for us, which will make our next batch of circuits cheaper again. So here's the checklist for the oil. That's everything done, including the pipeline. And I've put together another checklist for the next phase of what we want to do. Starting with the arc furnace, it'll make circuits cheaper and a couple of other things as well, so this is good. Cutting machine will help us cut slabs more efficiently. I'll get 2 per block rather than 1, which is helpful. And I want to get another mixer because I think I probably want to get a bunch of concrete for the build as well. Alright, so I was just looking through these component recipes here. So resistors get an awful lot cheaper when you use annealed copper instead of normal copper. You get twice as many. And vacuum tubes as well, you can get a lot more. Okay, so next up is our cutting machine. And if you've watched any other playthroughs, you'll know that the hard part of this is this saw blade, which needs a new alloy called cobalt brass. Cobalt brass requires a little bit of cobalt, and that is technically available to us. There's a couple of ways we can get it, but it does look like I did pick up a cobalt ingot just in my travels at some point. They must have been in one of those witch circle chests, or maybe in a village or something like that. So we only need the one. That should be plenty. Alright, that's another 64 circuits in the bag. Welcome back everyone. As you can see, it's been a little while since the last clip, quite a few days actually, and I've been quite busy. All these machines are gone. We've just got the oil production here now. And you'll see my bed and the vending machine are gone. And I have been building a new base. Let's take a look at it. Now, before we actually go and have a look at the base, I will say again, I'm rubbish at building. This took me more than a day to do what I've done. It's still not finished, but I'm kind of just burnt out on building now. I just want to get on with some progress. So this is what we've got. So this is going to be a machine hall, mostly LV. They're probably going to get some MV on this here, I imagine. If you've watched any Greg Tech or played any Greg Tech, then you probably know what's going in here. And if not, don't worry, that'll be covered very soon. Now, I have this very pretty but useless corridor. It took me so long to get it looking the way I wanted, and then I realised it's actually just a complete pain in the ass to get up here when I'm actually wanting to be hopping between machines and my storage, but that's okay. I've popped a ladder in here for the now, and very soon we'll be in MV and I will put a elevator in and that'll just be problem solved then. Okay, so looking at the recipe for this rock grinder, it's pretty cheap. Only thing that's a little bit interesting, oops, not that, is this diamond head, which is just some diamond and double steel plates. So that's nothing to worry about. Okay, there's the grinding head. Now, let's see if we can manage the rest of this in a one. Not quite. Alright, there's a little bit of stuff to do here. I will be back in a sec. Right, let's see if this crafts now. Yes, excellent. Alright, now, these rock breakers are a little bit of a pain in the arse. I've had 2 explosions from them. One of them wasn't so bad, I just lost the rock breaker. The other one actually wiped out about a third of my LV workshop. So we need to be very careful about where we place it, and in particular where we place the lava, and we need to make sure that the lava is properly encased. Because otherwise what it'll do is it'll set fire to the cable and that'll cause machines to explode. And we don't want that, so let me have a little think actually and think about how I'm going to place this. Alright, so what I'm thinking is put the rock breaker here, like so, and let's see, let's put some garbage blocks in here. Have the lava as far away from the power cable as I can make it. And again, make sure it's just fully encased. Water here. And what circuit does it need? Not sure. Oh, it's working. Perfect. Alright. So, that's very ugly. We'll need to see if we can do something about that. But it's more important that this doesn't catch on fire. I could probably look into turning off fire tick, but we'll see. How many explosions get caused? Alright, so we want that cobble buffered. So let's pop this on top here. Set that to auto output, forge hammer. It's already got a conveyor on it, that's great. It has no power yet. You're going? You're going. Gravel buffer in place. I don't want that to get too tall, while I'm accepting some amount of garbage looking. It'd be nice if I didn't hate it every time I looked at it. I'll pop that here. Somehow I'm still short an electrolyzer. 2 secs. I might need to grab a screwdriver. You have a cover. It's exporting this magnesia, but you're not doing it. And you are outputting on this side, so I think it's maybe you that needs a screwdriver configuring. Yes, input from output side allowed. And we can just pump down, that should be fine. Now I expect what's going to happen is this oxygen tank will fill up and then everything will back up. And that's alright. So, looking at this again, I realise it's not the most compact. There's quite a lot of opportunity here to reorganise it. So I think what I'm going to do is just wait for it to back up, for these drawers to fill up, and then I'll move it around a bit. But let's get on with the next one. Okay, the next dedicated line I want to set up is for polyethylene. I have made a little bit already just by recycling the machines that we have, just sort of borrowing and rearranging and just doing it on the fly. But what I want to do is just set up a sort of a permanent thing where I can just sort of pop some oil on the top, get polyethylene at the end. So to do that we are going to need a few machines because I want to leave all these where they are rather than moving everything around when I need polyethylene. So I need, I think, 2 distilleries and 2 chemical reactors and possibly some more, and we'll see. Alright, 2 distilleries, 2 chemical reactors. Ooh, I'm out of 4x cable. Let's see to that. Absolutely love that noise. This is a little access tunnel I built. When I get some more building mojo back, I will be making it a lot prettier. But for now, it's just functional. And how is this doing? That is fine. All good. Alright. Yoink. So that cool trapdoor is from Malice's doors. They're quite expensive to craft, so I've only got the one right now. I want to get them all over the place, I think they're brilliant. Right, so I'm going to need a pump. I do not have a pump. That's okay. And of course, because this is GTNH, we need to overcraft, and it looks like I need to get a few things going before I can do that. Just looking actually at the recipe for this rotor. So that's the old-fashioned one. Can I update this to the fluid solidifier? Can. It melts at LV and I can solidify it to the rotor. Let's just do a big batch of those then. Okay, so the last thing I want to make here is a tank. to keep our polyethylene in, and then I think we can call that line done. Alright, so there we have it, semi-automated polyethylene. We'll need to run oil in and hydrogen in and take care of the hydrogen sulfide and grab steam and oxygen, although the oxygen we can just run over from here, that's very easy. Just grab some cells. Just like this, let's see. And if you've not run a polyethylene line before or seen one, I'll run it through for you. So we have our oil here. This gets distilled to sulfuric gas. Gets desulfurized to refinery gas. Then gets reacted with steam. I'll need a... oops, and a power fail. What power failed and why? Yes, okay. $30 EU per tick, yeah, that would power fail. Alright, that's fine, I'll just grab it a battery. It runs so infrequently. And the battery can just charge up in between. Just deal with its power in the meantime. I think that should be okay. We'll see. So anyway, as I was saying, if you've not seen a polyethylene line before, this is a very bad one. Oil comes in here, turns into sulfuric gas. Sulfuric gas desulfurized to refinery gas. Our refinery gas is steam cracked to severely steam cracked refinery gas. That's then distilled into ethylene, which we then react with oxygen to give us polyethylene. And as I mentioned, I'll need to just run in all the various inputs for this for the foreseeable future. Eventually we will get it fully automated, but this is good enough for now for getting enough polyethylene that will help us out with the various things that we have coming up. Alright, well I think that's a great place to wrap up the episode. We made a lot of progress today. We've gutted this old base and started moving over to our new base. And the last thing I want to do is just open this handful of loot bags and see if we get anything good. We did not get anything good. Garbage. Garbage. And this, I'm just going to recycle for steel. That's not so bad. Alright, so that episode actually took more than a week to record because of all the building. But I'm really glad that we've got the space now to expand out, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what else I can get put in there. Next time, I want to increase our bulk processing capabilities by building out the steam machines, the multi-block steam machines. I want to get the centrifuge online and the washer, and if it's not too much effort and I can be asked, I want to get the mixer and the compressor as well. See you then!